Good evening, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Marked by Wrestling. It's time for NXT. Missed you guys last week. Thank you all so much for giving me a little bit of grace to spend some time with the family. We celebrated a birthday in the Marked by Wrestling household. A lot of fun times. So it's always good to take a little take time for your family. Let's try not to put wrestling above everything. You get in weird places when you do that. So, but tonight it's going to be really exciting. We're coming off of a hot week last week. I did actually watch the show after the fact. It was pretty good episode of NXT. But also, we got 4 title matches tonight. We got a speed title match, a tag title match, the women's NXT title is on the line. Ruca and Jacy Jayne. So, we got a lot going on. Chase U explodes. I imagine we'll probably see more out of that birthright movement, which has been very interesting from week to week. So, very interested to see if we get a lot of a recap. And, of course, the North American title, where I think it was Tyrell who already said, Ethan Page succumbed to the inner voices of Myles Borne, channeling his inner Randy, and Pillmanized Ethan Page's ankle. I wonder if he'll be selling the effects of that tonight. Well, we're back in the Performance Center, or the NXT arena. Originally, they were supposed to be in Atlanta tonight at Center Stage, which is an amazing venue, by the way. They did WCW Saturday Night there for years, but I read that they had parking lot issues. The Robert Stone here running down the card. The building that Center Stage is in is actually 3 venues. There's like a bar, a basement, and the theater that is Center Stage. I've been there before. I've been at Center Stage, and also I can't remember what the name of the bar is for another concert back in the past. I used to live in Georgia. So it's not a lot of parking for 3 venues. And, NXT is a whole traveling production. So I guess it just didn't work. But we're getting NXT tag titles starting off. Guys, I have a confession. I kind of hate that I'm coming around on the Vanity Project's theme song. It gets stuck in my head at weird parts of the day. So Cobra Kai is here with Jackson Drake. An observation, it's funny, I find different observations when I watch NXT alone without the rest of your company. And guys, I don't know when he's going to drop that Evolve title, but it feels like they're trying to make something of Jackson Drake here. Obviously, in the long-term plans, I'm sure they see something in him. But if you notice in the ladder match for the NXT title, he was in that match, like doing stuff, for a lot of that match. And he's showing up a lot. I mean, the Vanity Project, all of them are, but I don't know. I just feel like he's very present on NXT to be the NXT tag titles. George, I'm saying all that not because I think the Vanity Project are going to beat Darkstate, although, do you guys want to hear something crazy? Darkstate got left out of 2K26. I know none of us are going to start a riot over that or anything. None of us are huge fans of Darkstate here in the community. But when you saw some of the new names that they've put in 2K26, you just would have assumed the NXT Tag Team Champions would be there. And not one of them. Not any of the 4. Not even Dion Lennox, who was challenging for the world title 2 weeks ago. I would get it if, Cutler James didn't make it or something. We bag on him a little bit here, from week to week. He just sticks out a little bit out of the 4 of them. Not in the best way. But I'm really surprised that Darkstate did not make the cut for 2K26. When a lot of NXT and AAA made it into the game. So very surprising to me. Unless maybe they're a DLC or something later on. But so maybe they are cooling off on Darkstate. I don't know. Hydro, good to see you. I haven't said my hellos to everybody. We just kind of started off hot here with the match right away. So Vanity Project versus Darkstate. Let me know who you got. Yeah, George, I'm not going to disagree with you there. I mean, I like the look of the NXT tag titles, but they could use a little bit of a facelift at this point. We've been with that. We've been with that look for almost as long as I can remember for the tag titles. The world titles have gotten facelifts multiple times. I mean, even the North American title with Ethan Page, even though it's a little novelty gimmick, has gotten a change. So it is what it is, you know? Anyway, let me just run back real quick. Hello to Zach Minger, our first comment of the night earlier today. National Tortilla Chip Day. Get some chips and salsa, you guys. Some chipotle smoked salsa. Mwah, excellent stuff. Tyrell, good to see you again. George, as always, Dawsey. Dawsey, make sure you defend that predictions title, man. Make sure you fill that out tonight. We will be going live with A&B Combos, the whole coalition in the house after NXT tonight to talk Elimination Chamber predictions. But George, yeah, Dawsey, Dro, I said hi already, I believe. And last name, good to see you, man. Glad everybody is here. Yeah, I mean, if there was ever a time to bring back the NXT women's tag titles, it would have been within the past 6 months to currently, with there being such a deep women's roster. You've got so many options to pull from there. You've got Fatal Influence. You had Zaruka. We keep feeling like they're on their way out, but man, there've just been so many ladies that don't have a ton to do. Dro, Brock versus who at Mania? Listen, I'll take whatever they give me, but if you're asking me, I mean, it needs to be Obafemi. It doesn't need to be anybody else. It needs to be Obafemi, and Brock needs to put him over. I'm not saying Oba needs to murder him. I think they could go blow for blow with each other, kind of like Brock did with Goldberg at WrestleMania 33, not the ones where he lost in like 60 seconds. But I do think that Brock and Oba could have a great match at Mania, because Brock is a very underrated worker. When he wants to have a good match, he can have the match of the night. George says, so Liv Morgan chooses Stephanie, Vicaire, WrestleMania, and Raquel in the Elimination Chamber. Where's it go from here, George? Yeah, you know what? When A and B were live last night, I was thinking that same thing with Raquel winning that match. First of all, Raquel has to clear the hurdle of actually winning the Elimination Chamber. But if Raquel did win, would we get Raquel versus Jade? I mean, on commentary, Corey Graves said that the winner of that match would face Jade at WrestleMania. But what if Raquel Rodriguez pulls a Shawn Michaels in 2004, a combination Batista, Shawn Michaels, like gives Liv Morgan the old Batista treatment, power bombs her through the table and signs the contract for her match, and Stephanie Vicaire ends up in a triple threat instead. I think that could be really intriguing, but not necessary. I don't think it's necessary that Raquel wins the chamber either, but if she did, I would put her in that match with Liv instead of putting her one-on-one with Jade. Just what I would do. Oh, geez. Osiris just launched Brad Baylor right into a laid double stomp on Sugars. The bouncing knees taking Kofi's soul. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was so wild. So wild. Dro, I answered you, buddy. I said it needs to be Obafemi. I think Obafemi needs to take on Brock at WrestleMania. Yeah, George, I think WrestleMania would be a great opportunity to dissolve the Judgment Day, because you could, some people are fantasy booking Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental title, or just Finn versus Dom one-on-one. But Finn is already kind of drifting his way away from everybody else. I would love to see JD McDonough do something of substance. And if that means him switching shows or something, because he can do whatever I can do. So I mean, he can do whatever he wants, man, if they just give him a chance to do it. So and then Liv, and I don't know where that leaves. I should say this: if Judgment Day were to implode at WrestleMania, I don't know where that leaves JD. I don't know where that leaves Roxy, but everybody else kind of has a direction they can go in. So we'll see what happens. The WrestleMania prediction. Drew, buddy, I answered that. You said Brock versus who at Mania, and I said Obafemi. I think it's going to be Brock versus Obafemi. That's what I want to see happen. Yeah, I think George. Yeah, I think especially if Raquel does not win the chamber, which is highly likely. She's got a 1 in 6 chance. Just ask Scott Steiner about those odds. I could see her getting involved in the Liv and Stephanie match either way, regardless of whether it ends up helping or hurting her. Yeah. Honestly, I kind of wonder if Stephanie Vaquer after WrestleMania, let's say she lost, if she lost to Liv, if she couldn't use a change of pace and go over to SmackDown, just get some fresh matchups. You know what I mean? Just some fresh matchups. It just feels like she didn't really get a whole lot out of her reign. And I think part of that too is because a lot of the top contenders Stephanie would have faced on Raw or tied up in the tag division. Like she didn't really spend a lot of time feuding with Rhea or Io or Asuka or even Kyrie, because they're all in tag matches. 3 Stages of Hell match at Mania. I didn't know there was going to be a 3 Stages of Hell match at Mania, Dro. If there was one, I would I don't know who I would give that to, because honestly, Dro, a 3 Stages of Hell match should be for a feud that you want to wrap up, Yeah, George, Bailey, Lyra, Becky, all those are great matches still on the table for Stephanie Vaquer. And so honestly, Natty, like this new, revamped Natty should get in there with Stephanie too. So yeah, maybe she shouldn't leave Raw. Maybe just after WrestleMania, if she retains, this should be who she should be taking on instead of just the Judgment Day. But yeah, Dro, I'm trying to think of who deserves a 3 Stages of Hell match. It's got to be it's got to be a team you really want to, not a team. It's got to be a feud that really needs an explosive end to it. And I'm just trying to think who that could be right now, Vanity Project trying to take advantage here. Yeah, Steph and Roxy, I'd love to revisit that. Dro, Punk versus Roman in 3 Stages of Hell could work, but I think WrestleMania is too early to do that. I would rather see them do that at SummerSlam, maybe, after they've had a match or two. And of course, Cody and Drew have already done 3 Stages of Hell. If it was Cody and Jacob one-on-one, that could work in a vacuum. But again, Cody's just got out of one. So Cody doesn't really need to be in one again. Man. If Carmelo Hayes could have one singular feud going into WrestleMania instead of multiple contenders, 3 Stages of Hell match with Melo wouldn't be bad. Hey Sophie, thanks for welcoming me back. You can see Tony. Yeah. Tony has already dealt with Cutler James, who is at ringside for this match. It would be interesting if he. It would be interesting if Tony somehow managed to help the Vanity Project indirectly here. Osiris is wrecking shop here though, but Smokes breaks up the pin. last name. I was really sad to see that for Bronson Reed. I'm sad to see anybody get legitimately injured, you know? But man, the vision is so snake bit. I have not seen such a I've not seen such an injury prone faction since the year 2000 era of the NWO, the one with Bret Hart and Jeff Jarrett and Scott Steiner and the Outsiders. Like, man, just these poor guys are just derailed, which is a shame because they had such potential. So hopefully they can just hit the pause button on Seth and Bronson and Braun, and those guys will heal up and come back, and we can pick up where we left off. Hope somebody else is ready to take the ball and run with it, though. Let's see. Modfather's in the house. Hope all is well. Missed y'all. This goes for you as well, Mark. If you ever miss again, I'll get the gabagool for you as well. All right. Duly noted. If I didn't explain to everybody, so my son's birthday was last Tuesday, and I will always choose the kids over the wrestling. So just one of those things. Jackson Drake saves a 3 count that Darkstate was going for. Nevertheless, yeah, I heard that YouTube had a little bit of an outage, so I'm not sure if last week that would have worked out for all of us or not. Anyway, big pull apart brawl happening out here. Yeah, the real D'Angelo's here. Y'all called it. D'Angelo is here. And he just dropped Sugars. Oh, no. The Vanity Project. The Vanity Project. Oh, my gosh. George called it. Tony D said they expect one of us in the wreckage, brother. Cobra Kai, All Valley champions. Oh, my gosh. Just crazy. Man. Dropkick Doomsday device from Saquon Sugars, by the way. And always Modfather. We understand each other. It's all good. But listen, man, they are trying to make something out of the Vanity Project. Okay, listen. They're a little green, you know, but they can work, and they have decent charisma. They're little punk kids. I call them Cobra Kai for a reason. Like, especially that Brad Baylor, the guy who got the pin. He just looks like a member of Cobra Kai from the 84 Karate Kid. But unbelievable. Darkstate just got the rug pulled out from under them, and they got no gold anymore. The Vanity Project all has gold now. What year is it? Myles Borne backstage. Myles Borne with a North American title shot tonight. Oh, Swaby, what's up, man? Yeah, Zari and Sol Ruca. Interestingly enough, they appear to have made up, but, you know, the night is young. We'll see what happens at the end of the night. Punk and Roman. Yeah, Dro, I mean, we'll see what happens. Oh, you're watching Cobra Kai, Sean. All right, that's awesome, dude. George, I think it's far more believable for OTM to wreck the Vanity Project and take the titles from them. And I honestly think OTM will get a bigger response for beating the Vanity Project than they would for beating Darkstate. Because I just think, like, I know there's a little bit of apathy towards Darkstate some weeks, but they hate the Vanity Project. So we'll see what happens. They pop for a title change, but they don't like Vanity Project. All right, Myles Borne feeling very confident tonight. I wonder if Ethan Page will be selling the ankle injury or not, though, because you know how, like, last week, Kalani Jordan, which, by the way, Kalani and Lola had a great match last week too, and a great justification for making Lola Vice tap out was that she was working with, you know, a broken hand, basically, and Kalani just targeted it for the whole match. So I wonder if we'll see something similar with Ethan Page and his ankle, but who knows? Vengeance Day, OTM, and Vanity Project. Yeah, Vengeance Day is going to be next weekend, I believe. So we'll see. We'll see. How do I feel about, oh yeah, we get Keanu Carver versus Sean Legacy. Say a prayer for Sean Legacy, man. This could be a really fun match though. Yeah, honestly, I really enjoyed AJ's retirement ceremony. You know, there's something I've learned is that when WWE is sending a wrestler on their way, you need to give the audience time to process it before you send them away. When Ric Flair retired at WrestleMania 24, a match I was present for, me and my brother, they didn't do his goodbye until Raw the next night. When Goldberg and John Cena lost their final matches, they tried to kind of rush them right out by doing their big flowers moment right there in the ring after it happened. And it didn't go well, either one of them. They ran out of time for Goldberg, and Cena's, you know, the crowd was booing for Cena's because they were not happy with the outcome of the match. But here's the thing is that AJ Styles, the crowd booed him losing to Gunther too, but they gave us time to change the venue, let it sink in, and actually gather people who were relevant to AJ Styles and do an actual like sweet video package for him. It felt like 2005 all over again, you know, with the Creed higher music video and all this stuff. So I love the way they handled AJ Styles' retirement. And also AJ's speech I thought was really, really good because like we have become conditioned as wrestling fans to not let a wrestler leave when they still look like they can go. And I know there's a lot of fans who still want to see AJ wrestle, maybe for other promotions and stuff like that. But his line last night about keeping his gloves so he could lay them down in Atlanta and also deciding, you know, one thing he hasn't done is be a good dad. It hit me right dead center in the chest. And so I totally get and support him stepping back to be a father while his body can still support him in doing that. And he doesn't have to wrestle for me anymore. I mean, if he wants to and he can make it happen, then great. If that's something he and his family decide. But as for this, like if he's happy with this, I'm happy for him. And I thought it was executed really well. And yes, the Undertaker being the sort of the Silver Surfer of the Hall of Fame, coming out and telling everyone they get inducted is actually really fun. And that's honestly kind of a good image rehab for Taker too. Like he's always just coming to bring good news. I really like that. And yeah, so I would love for them to keep using Taker for that. Don't love the Kid Rock entrance, but that's just my personal preference. But yeah, I love that. I love the way the show ended. I thought it was great. So I was a fan of it. See what I missed. Modfather still on the fence if you're pre-ordering 2K26. Yeah, the money's not coming in for me right now, so I'm gonna have to just wait until there's more spendable times for me to pre-order 2K because yeah, that's just gonna be what it is right now in this economy. Sophie Dovey asks, how do you feel about the Brock Lesnar open challenge storyline for Mania? I think that's fine. Let it run out for a few weeks and eventually give us Obafemi. Like that easy. It's simple to the point, and I think it'd be fine. Like just do it that way. Be fine. Gunther and Brock. Gunther wouldn't be the worst option, but I would rather see Gunther and Brock at SummerSlam instead because I want to make sure Oba is on the main card, and I would like for him to have a high-profile match. And no disrespect to Rusev, which I think Oba will be facing Rusev before Mania gets here, probably on Raw, right? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. They're going to Italy, though. What's up, Nico? Good to see you. Thanks for hitting that like button, by the way. Everybody hit that like button while you're here, if you don't mind. You can take your shoes off and put your feet up, but just make sure you hit the like button. Shamanica, hey girl, good to see you. Glad you're here. Did I see the Eva Marie interview? No, I did not. I saw that he did it, but I have not watched it. Yeah, yeah. I feel bad for Seth. This is not the first WrestleMania Seth Rollins has missed because of injury. Poor guy. Keanu Carver still. We're back now. Still in the ring, waiting for the entrance of Sean Legacy. I don't know what to make of this match because Keanu is just a beast, and Sean Legacy is a real young up and comer here. At least on NXT. He's impressed before in the past. He's kind of dressed a little Johnny Gargano-ish. Oh yeah, 3 weeks ago in the ladder match, Carver just blasted Legacy through the little tower there. Just something they tend to do. But we'll see what comes of it. $2K news is good but bad news. Rating Blake and Javon are 78s. No curved ramps. Still no Ariana Grace, OTM, or Darkstate. Yeah, that's interesting, Shamanica. I mentioned that in the opening match. By the way, if you guys are just joining us, we have new tag team champions. The Vanity Project beat Darkstate thanks to an assist from Tony D'Angelo, who came and wiped out Darkstate and cost them the match. Darkstate not in 2K this year, which I got to admit, I am surprised. What are my thoughts on the Vision since all these injuries kept happening left and right? Honestly, my thoughts on the Vision at this point, I don't think they should do anything to advance things with Seth, Bronson, and Braun until they come back. And if it were up to me at WrestleMania, just put Logan, Paul, and Austin Theory in a tag team against the Usos for the tag titles. And you can have the masked man be whoever the masked man is supposed to be, unmasked at Mania. But if it's supposed to be Seth or supposed to be someone tied to Seth or Braun, I would wait. But yeah. Yeah, maybe Darkstate will be in the DLC. It's just very puzzling decision to me. Lola and Kalani in an underground match would be great, George. But Lola's going to have to either kayfabe or for real heal up from that hand injury. Keanu Carver, argumentative here. Oh, and just drops Sean Legacy. You know, I do like there's this sort of Marshawn Lynch meets late 80s Mike Tyson gimmick here with Keanu Carver, which has a lot of potential. So we'll see. Sean Legacy, meanwhile, just getting his lunch money stolen here. Yeah. First title match ended up with a title change. So we'll have to see what we get. Sean not doing much here. Selling a lot. Yeah, will Dom be champion by WrestleMania? Because he is defending the Intercontinental title next week against Penta. And he's also defending the Mega title against Vikingo pretty soon as well. NXT was supposed to be in Atlanta, Shamanica. They had a logistics issue with the building. So, funnily enough, I'm familiar with that building they were going to be holding the episode of NXT. Oh, gosh, Carver's going to try to spear him again, but he gets met with a super kick. There's actually 3 venues in the building that NXT was going to be in, but they only have 1 parking lot. And the other venues routinely hold like concerts and all this other stuff. So I think with all their production stuff, they just couldn't make it work. I think there just wasn't enough room for them to operate. So they ended up bailing on Atlanta for tonight, and they're back in Orlando. So if they had Dossie asked if they have a triple threat or fatal four-way multi match for Drew, do you think that diminishes the elimination chamber? A little bit, yeah. Because here's the thing: is that um, how do they make that happen? Unless they have just a big, oh man, a huge pounce. Keanu Carver has adopted the pounce. Shout out to Monty Brown, aka Marcus Corvon. And then something kind of like a jackhammer. Wow. Well, I got to be honest, I didn't love that match. I mean, it was clean. Keanu Carver pretty much wrecked Sean Legacy for almost the whole match here. Sean Legacy didn't get a lot of offense in, which makes me a little sad because Sean is far more gifted than that. But yeah, they're gonna they just want to make Carver into a monster. Carver had that really big impression when they had that massive brawl with almost the whole locker room out. But when it's a smaller audience, just him and one other guy, it's a little harder for him to hide things. Ladies in the locker room getting geared up for tonight. Yeah, A and B moving. Yeah, I'll miss them because you know we live in the same city, so yeah, I'll be sad to see them go, but wish them the best. I was Kalani here with Ren QCC. But Carver wouldn't be a bad fit for Darkstate. That's true. Oh, Lola's here to start a fight, and now there's a big pull apart going on. And now Jasper Troy's here. So we have a first time ever triple threat speed title match with a 7-minute time limit. Jasper Troy defending against both Eli Knight and Elio LeFleur, who in the tournament finals went to a time limit draw last week. So here we go. Yeah, I know. I feel like we're just getting a one guy winner. I tell you what would be absolutely wild. First of all, Trick Williams is the only heel in the men's elimination chamber match, which is peculiar. But Jacob Fatu not in the match either. I would be shocked and also really excited if LA Knight won. I know it's not a big chance that he does. I mean, it seems tailor-made for Cody to do it again. But honestly, I would kind of like if Cody and Jacob, neither of them got the title match at Mania, and they just did a gimmick match, cage match, anything. And then Drew just gets a fresh opponent, whether it's Randy or whether it's not Jay or LA Knight. I mean, it would be absolutely insane if they switched it up and gave the shot to LA Knight. Those are some promos I would love to see. But I mean, because LA Knight was feuding with the Vision, right? And the Vision's pretty much all gone. And LA Knight's already feuded with Logan Paul before. So we're not revisiting that. This is a great opportunity to hit a reset button on a few feuds. And yeah, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, I hear what's rumored, but the thing is that means Cody would have to win the Elimination Chamber, and why would Jacob still get a shot? And he's not even in the match, you know? That's the only thing. That is true. He did attack Randy. And he hasn't attacked LA Knight, right? He hasn't attacked Trick or Eli Knight. So. Yeah, I think that's the only thing for me is that wanting a Joe Hendry versus Drew is more interesting. Fair enough. Yeah, I think the point stands pretty well. I don't. Are we going to be diminishing the elimination chamber here because there's only going to be one winner of that elimination chamber match, or there should be, right? And if that's the case, then how do you justify anyone else shoehorning their way into that match? That's the only thing. I just don't know how you get there. I understand, like, without the Elimination Chamber match or the Royal Rumble or any of that other stuff, just from a storytelling standpoint, how it would be looking like at least a three-way match, with Drew and Cody and Jacob, But I just don't know how. I feel like they booked themselves into a corner for that. Yeah, in regards to the cities doing like the blackouts at sports bars or wherever, other than that, sorry, channel mascot startled me. Yeah, I'm not in favor of them doing those blackouts at party sites, but honestly, I don't hate it. I'll tell you why. Because I hope it backfires and I hope it makes them lower ticket prices and go back on it. I hope it blows up in their face and they're forced to change. Yeah, they didn't go with the women's tag match for the chamber, which I do think is a missed opportunity, but it is what it is. That's why I don't work for them. Okay, Eli Knight in the ring. Now, do we have Elio LeFleur coming to the ring eventually? Yeah, I mean, from a booking standpoint, I think Drew versus Cody versus Jacob makes the most sense, but I just don't know how they get there in a way that makes sense. Obviously, they can just do whatever they want to do to make it work, but I mean, I feel like they'd have to do like a double pin in the match or something to end the chamber match. I feel like that they're really going to have to screw over the crowd to do that. I don't know. Or you'd have to have some sort of heel authority figure just force their way in. Like, I'm not putting this evil on anybody, but if The Rock showed up and forced Jacob Fatu's hand into getting into that match, so the bloodline still gets a shot at the title. I mean, maybe that, but I don't know. SmackDown in Louisville. Okay, George. Cool. Have a great time, man. Right before Chamber should be fun. All right. Triple threat. 7 minutes. Can Jasper Troy defend? Jeez. Eli Knight got up there. Oh no, Vince is done. Vince is not coming back to power. Too old, too out of touch, doesn't have enough pull anymore. Those days are over. Swaby, in terms of like real life or story or what? I in terms of how they are as real people, I don't have a clue. But I don't believe. I don't necessarily believe in Rock's intentions, though. In a kayfabe sense, though. Yeah, if anybody's hoping for Vince to come back to creative, they're delusional. I'm sorry. Like it's just never going to happen. Do I think they should do a women's tag team TLC match at Mania? I mean, I think a multi-woman tag match would be a good idea. TLC, it would be a first, right? I just don't know. I'm a little TLCs, multi-person TLCs and ladder matches. I've gotten to the point in my fandom where I don't love them as much as I used to because there's so much setup time to go. Those matches these days kind of just go from spot to spot, and it doesn't really feel like a match. It's just like, okay, let's set up a thing and crash through it. You set up a thing and we'll crash through it. And like, anyway, it doesn't feel like I'm watching wrestling anymore. And that's not to say I don't enjoy ladder matches. Or tables matches or TLC matches, but like they don't feel very competently executed. That's just how I feel about it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Swaby. Yeah, well, Vince in his prime has probably been like 40 years ago. Like I don't know that there was people wear rose colored glasses a lot, and I don't think there's anything. There's nothing that Triple H has booked that Vince has not done a worse job at. Now, granted, Vince is booked for much longer, but even in Vince's best booking times, he had terrible things on TV at the same time. So for every like Austin versus McMahon feud or Brett and Shawn feud, there was, Mae Young and Mark Henry, or, Val Venus and Kai and Ty, or the Oddities, or some other dumb stuff. So, no. Yeah. People say that because they want clicks. And they're annoyed because their favorites aren't winning. Man, Jasper Troy with a nasty choke slam to Elio LeFleur. Only gets him 2. And we're about 3.5 minutes. So we're about halfway through the match right now. So Eli Knight and Elio LeFleur kind of teaming up against Jasper Troy, which, I mean, you kind of got to if you're going to try to chop down this tree here. Eli Knight very vocal, trying to engage with the crowd a lot here. All right, 3 minutes and counting. Oh, Eli Knight suckers in Elio LeFleur, but only gets a 2. And now Jasper Troy's got Eli Knight, tosses him outside the ring, off the top rope. Jasper, is he going to climb up? Getting some Vader bomb action here. Eli Knight's already back up. Kick to the head. And then, power bomb from Elio to Jasper. Now Elio. A DDT on the apron from Elio to Eli. Elio up top, 210, 450. Could have a new champ. Nope. Kicks out. Yes, Dawsey. It's like watching a Fortnite match. Yeah. Except slower. All right, we're under 2 minutes now. About 1:45. Jasper trying to get up here in the corner while the other two going at it. Now what? Razor's Edge coming. Jasper's up. Oh, nope. Elio gets out of the way. And Black Hole Slam is reversed. Now Elio. Oh. And big moonsault from Eli, but Elio going to steal the pin. And he gets the pin. Eli Knight is just a shred of a second too late to break it up. And Elio LeFleur is the new speed champion. So we got this thing off of Jasper Troy. So 2 title matches, 2 title changes. What does that mean for Ethan Page and for Jayne tonight? Yeah, Sophie, you know this. There are lots of content creators out there who are just going to say things to get you to respond to them. I mean, they only put AJ in the Hall of Fame so that he won't go wrestle somewhere else. Like, bro, there's there's plenty of Hall of Famers that went and wrestled for other places anyway. Like, have you met Edge? Like, come on. So let's see, a lot of content creators. Oh, a chronicle on Joe Hendry coming up soon. Okay. Complain because it feels yeah, no, negativity definitely thrives in the creator space. 100%. You tend to get more engagement with negativity than positivity, which is a shame because people will just sell their soul for all kinds of negativity just so they can justify getting engagement. And just think about it in terms of engagement and not think about what that persistent and pervasive negativity does to fans. So, which is why I try to be a little different here, even if I am a little bit of a smaller channel, you know, just trying to be a positive voice in the space. We try to spend our time talking about the things we enjoy with wrestling. So, will there be a poll for the community, Shamanica? Do you mean for Elimination Chamber, Shamanica? If so, yes. We're going to go live with A and B after NXT tonight. And we're going to do our elimination chamber predictions there. And the form will be available there. I also put it earlier in the chat too. Let me see if I can get it back in here again. If you guys want to get a head start on it, I'm putting it in the chat now. That way, you know, you don't have to be trying to fill that out later. But you guys can get a head start on it if you want them. So we've got that for you tonight. So anyway, should be a lot of fun predicting Elimination Chamber this weekend in Chicago with A and B combos after the show. And we'll see if I can retain my predictions Coalition Cup title. And hopefully we'll get that good to go for you. All right. As Matthew McConaughey once said many, many times. Okay. Just a little bit of cleaning up here. All right. We've got ourselves well, he's not white, but White Goodman in the house. You're going down like sweet mother LeFleur. I'm getting my title back. Oh man. Yes, please smash the like button. A&B combos are in the house. Yeah, I guess it will be a three-peat if I retain. This is a tough one though, because there's only 4 matches on the card, and 2 of them are big time chamber matches. And honestly, you know, this feels difficult to call. So, and I actually have not made any personal predictions yet. So, we'll be there. Oh, A and B. Hey, I sent you the link. I just did before you got in the chat. So check your email, and the link for the show afterwards should be there for you. Oh my goodness gracious. But yeah, so we've gotten 2 title matches and 2 title changes. The Vanity Project are your new NXT Tag Team Champions. And Elio LeFleur, the new men's speed champion, which honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing him work with that. I think that could be a lot of fun. And then we still have a newly aggressive Myles Borne versus Ethan Page tonight, who is being tended to now with Ricky Saints. Who's here to crash the party? The Vanity Project here to celebrate with Ethan Page and Ricky Saints. I tell you what, if Ethan retains and Ricky Saints gets the title back from Joe Hendry, this is going to be an insufferable group of guys. This is not a bad group, though. They do have chemistry. I'll give them that. Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, and the Vanity Project all together. And we still have Ruca versus Jacy Jayne. And we'll have to see. We will just have to wait and see what the future holds for Ruca tonight with Ruca. And Zarya likely in her corner, getting a world title shot against Jacy Jayne. All right, video on Joe Hendry. Oh, Joe Hendry with big gold back in the day, too. Great minds think alike. Man, Hendry has had quite a journey. A true renaissance man. You know, by the way, I just want to make something abundantly clear. We touched on this a few moments earlier when referencing people who said we'd be better under Vince than Triple H. You wouldn't know the name Joe Hendry if Vince was in charge, because it's abundantly clear Joe Hendry is a guy who worked to get himself over. And Vince's track record of guys who got themselves over without Vince's permission, no, not a fan of it. So if you like Joe Hendry, you should be happy that DX is in charge of creative. RT Rick, yes. We snack on danger and dine on death, and dead men don't make money. Oh, they're playing the little heartbeat music. Are we getting the ladies match now? Because this is the walk to the ring music. Dude, we're only halfway through the show. Are there other matches? Oh yeah, well, Uriah Connors and Kale Dixon are supposed to wrestle tonight too. So I guess there will be some filler time in between this match, and I guess the North American title is going to main event the show. Very interesting. Huh. Do I think WWE will run it back with Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes for the U.S. Championship, with Trick Williams winning and actually ending the open challenge? Maybe. I think I think Trick would be a good choice to end Melo's reign when they're ready to do it. One, they have the history, right? But two, Trick, I have not seen a wrestler as over as Trick as fast as Trick was. It honestly does. And I know people are going to think that I'm hyperbolizing here, and I don't mean it to this level of stardom. I'm just saying this is what it reminds me of. It reminds me of when The Rock was in the Nation of Domination and he started getting more famous than the rest of the group before he really broke out on his own. He was starting to get larger reactions than everybody else in the group. And it was clear a star was emerging. And once the catchphrase caught on, I think it was WrestleMania 14 when he first said, "If you smell what The Rock is cooking," like in a backstage interview. And it was just a throwaway statement, but it caught on. And that's the kind of thing in the Attitude Era, was you could say a throwaway line, and if it caught on with the crowd, then here it comes. But man, Trick is full of kind of, I don't know what generation to call Trick, if he's Gen Z, if he's Gen Alpha or whatever, because I feel like Javon is like Gen Alpha. I don't know. I'm old. I just know that. But he's got a whole bag full of phrases that feel fresh to me, that feel kind of like how The Rock used to say things, but it doesn't feel like it's from The Rock's era. You know, it doesn't feel old and stale. It feels fresh and new. So I appreciate that about Trick. And he's not just a one phrase guy. Yeah, Sammy and Trick could absolutely work at Mania for sure. I would put Trick over in that match though. If it were up to me, I think you could do Sammy and Trick. I think maybe you could do a multi-man for the US title as well. Yeah. I got to say though, I'm very curious where we come out of the ladies elimination chamber, because I don't know what we get for Jade Cargill. You know, we'll just have to see. We will just have to see. So, reminder to everybody, A&B Convos will be joining me a few minutes after NXT is over. We'll hop on a new stream and do predictions for Elimination Chamber. By the way, friends and family of Marked by Wrestling channel, do your boy a favor. I've got a new segment I've added to Marked by Wrestling called Mount Rushmore Matches, with me and my real life, my shoot big brother, David, where we did a video, sort of video podcast where we gave a primer, a sampler, if you will, of 4 Mount Rushmore level matches for the Steiner brothers. So if you're a big fan of Braun Breaker and you've never really seen what the Steiners have done, go take a look at that video. Watch here our recommendations. I put links in the video description too for where you can watch those matches as well. It's a lot of fun, and you can kind of learn some things too from 2 wrestling historians, so to speak, as we've been called. So anyway, Damian Priest video package here. But yeah, Mount Rushmore matches. Please go like the video, share it. as we're so close to getting our hours up now for getting the memberships open. I'm hoping maybe by Mania we might get there if we can keep getting it up. Yes, that was one of the matches, RT Rick, Steiners and Doom. Just hard hitting. I have never seen Ron Simmons move like that since. Well, when he was a solo act before, I never saw Farouk move like that. But Ron Simmons was a nightmare, dude. It's crazy. Oh, so Trick is a millennial. Okay. Good to know. I think I'm what they call an elder millennial because I was born in the early 80s. But yeah. Uh-oh. Lemon pepper steppers. Oh yeah, I love that. We're going to try to do it weekly, Sophie, if we can. We'll have to see what our schedules allow for. Darkstate crashing out and Lola Vice shutting them up to go complain. Oh, thank you, RT. Underground. George, you called it, dog. Vengeance Day. Lola and Kalani Underground. Okay. Watch out for the spinning back fist. All right, here comes Sol Ruca. George, man, did you get a job with Creative, dog? All right, well, Zaruka is here, and Zarya is, we're almost there, man. We're almost at 10K. We still got a little bit of work to do, but we're so almost there. You know what's crazy is that there are rumors, right, that Soul is going to get a little bit of a character change. Do you think she could turn heel instead of Zarya? Would that be nuts? I feel like that would be so out of left field and maybe not even the right choice either, but just saying. All right. Well, Zarya is all smiles. And here comes Fatal Influence. Time for the women's title, man. Is this the end for Jacy Jayne, or does she add another defense to her resume? Swaby, I'd say Rhea's got to be an odds-on favorite, right? Yeah, Shamanica. So I've heard those rumors too. And all I'm saying is that a slight gimmick change and new theme music is quite a recipe for a heel turn if you're wanting a justifiable reason to make that change. It would be a major swerve because Zarya has been playing the jilted partner this whole time, and like things are not going her way. She's getting screwed over. She's not getting the right opportunities. And Soul has slightly been pushing back at her a little bit, but not a lot. So anyway, we'll see what happens here. Fatal Influence here in the ring. Yeah, I mean that happens. That happens too. Dana hasn't announced the White House yet. Well, who knows what shape the White House will be once they can actually do that card. Yeah, I mean, I think it's time to call Jacy up too. That's true. Jade and Rhea could be a fresh match. All right. Oh, there it is. There's the heel turn right there. Before the bell even rings, Zarya with the spear. Well, they didn't give us any time at all. And F5. That was quick. I thought we'd at least get a match. They can't throw the match out because it didn't start. Soul's still trying to fight. And boom. Rolling encore. And Soul just got destroyed. Well, that's that. Jeez. They didn't. Zarya's not getting paid by the hour, I guess. Jacy's just doing a full-on victory lap in the ring, like she just won an Iron Woman match or something. Uh-oh. Oh, Zarya's not done with her. We get another F5 on the announce table. Jeez. Kiss of death. Crowd's chanting for Zarya too, by the way. Wow. Well, that's that. Do we get Vengeance Day, you think? One-on-one? You know, we had talked about maybe Stand and Deliver before, but yeah. So much for that. Jeez. I wasn't expecting it right out of the gate. I'll say that much. But there we are. There you have it. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. So Ruca is officially done. Zarya has turned heel on Sol Ruca, and Spiritor gave her 2 F5s, one of them on the announce table, and yeah. So I mean, we knew it was coming. I knew the split was coming, right? You'd have to be a blind person not to see it, but I don't know. I just kind of expected there to be a little bit of a match first, but Zarya said, "Forget that. I'm just going to drop you now." So that's that. So there we are. I imagine maybe we get Soul versus Zarya at Vengeance Day, and you don't think they would call Soul up for Mania, do you? Because if they're doing the turn now, a week before a PLE for NXT, you could have that one match, or you could have do you think Sol and Zarya is a multi-match feud, or if it's a one-match feud? Because you could have multiple matches like you did with like Ciampa and Gargano, right? Before Ciampa got hurt, back in the black and gold days. Or do you just have a one-off, and whoever wins is whoever wins? And then at WrestleMania, somebody, say Julia, US champion, or either has an open challenge or there's a surprise or whatever, and Sol Ruca shows up and it's like a new US champion. I don't know if Julia is the one I would want her to beat, but nevertheless, like I could see her being a surprise addition to WrestleMania, much like Joe Hendry was that year. So I don't know, man. Very interesting. Yeah, next week could be the last. I mean, assuming that our booking instincts are correct, that could be the last we see of Sol Ruca on NXT, which is wild to consider, because I feel like we just started getting over losing Oba, Trick, and Javon. So even though Sol is ready, Jacy's ready, I don't know that I'm ready for like them to leave right away too, but we'll see what happens. All right, we're coming back from break. Let's see what they got to say. If you're made of money, tickets are on sale right now for WWE World. Hmm. Tatum Paxley. Oh, live promo. Oh, she's in the crowd. Okay, crowd's behind Tatum. Other than a few smart alecks in the crowd, supportive smart alecks in the crowd, that crowd is locked in and quiet for her promo. It's pretty cool. Don't say because of you I've felt real love to some of these dudes. I don't know about that, Tatum. Okay. I don't even know if I'd call it a match, George. Oh, they're having a face-to-face promo in the crowd. This is different. Oh, these have got to be plants, surely. Oh, lights are out. What a weird segment. I mean, they tried to do something there. I give them credit for trying something different, but they started charging each other in the crowd, and then the lights goes out, and now Blake Monroe's making her entrance. I wonder, do you think are they still in the crowd fighting? Because this is a speed match. Thea Hale versus Blake Monroe. Could Blake get distracted? Because if so, that is a brilliant piece of booking. But it looks like, I don't know, it looks like Tatum and Izzy are already out of the picture. And here comes Thea. Okay, here we go. Bell rings. Yeah, Thea does have a W on Blake already, so she does have that advantage. Blake just screaming every time she gets held up. Pretty funny. The world's smallest slam. That's kind of cute. Ooh, super kick from Thea. Blake fighting for her life here. Well, well, well. Miss Parker's here with a little drive-by. And oh no. And Blake loses again. Oh. The sickos are gonna think they did something with Duncan on this. But this is just logical booking. Blake keeps finding ways to lose to Thea that are unconventional. And the feud is between Jada and Blake. So I'm for it. Are we going to get another Miss Parker and Blake match next week too? Because Vengeance Day is about to go crazy. You love to see it. So who will Thea face? So we have Ren Sinclair versus Nikita Lyons next week, I'm assuming. And winner of that takes on Fallon Henley. Jada looking proud of herself. Well, well, well. Okay, we got another NXT Chronicle here. Oh, it's just another part of Joe Hendry's journey. Sorry. Focusing on TNA, his stint in TNA. Yeah, I think Ren Sinclair would make a great speed champion. Showing all these TikToks about Joe Hendry. Crazy. I remember when he showed up in that battle royal, man. That was a legit shock moment. That was a huge WrestleMania pop too. Even Randy was like, interesting. Okay, Joe Hendry. 2K26 commercial with CM Punk. Nico asks, what are your top 10 heel turns of all time since you've been watching wrestling for a long time? That's a good question. I'll have to think over that, but let's go ahead put him in here. So I will I'm not gonna rank them since I'm kind of going off the dome, but I will give you some that really uh I think were really impactful, some all-time heel turns. Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, the barbershop window. Andre the Giant turning on Hulk Hogan was a huge one as well. Let's see. I mean, obviously, Hulk Hogan, the formation of the NWO is a big one. The Rock turning heel at 1998 Survivor Series and becoming the corporate champion, I think is one that is acknowledged as a really good heel turn, but doesn't get talked about a lot anymore. That was a big one. More people talk about Austin turning heel with Vince McMahon, but honestly, that wasn't really a great heel turn. It was a shocking moment, but it didn't have the legs that I think Rock's heel turn did. Seth Rollins betraying the Shield. That's a great one too. This one's super old school, but Barry Windham turning on Lex Luger and joining the Four Horsemen was a huge one as well. Let's see, that's 6. Um, Still thinking. I can get four more before we're back from the commercial break. I just want to think it over for a second. Triple H turning on Shawn was not a bad heel turn. I'm not going to put that one on my list just yet, but that was effective for its time. Let's see. Oh, Ciampa turning on Gargano in Black and Gold NXT. Huge. I mean, granted, Black and Gold NXT wasn't a huge place, but that was a huge heel turn. Yes, gosh, RT, thank you, man. I feel so stupid for not bringing that up. I was just talking about that yesterday. The birth of Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner. That's number 8. So two left. I can name. I'm just gonna look for some. Just looking for a little bit of inspiration over here from the old figures and stuff. Adam Cole turning on Kyle, that wasn't a bad one either. Also like the Freebirds turning on the Von Erichs. That's a super old school one too, but that one was huge. So that has me left with one. And I'll be thinking as we're back, Kale Dixon versus Uriah Connors on what the last heel turn would be. I did say Andre turning on Hogan, Dawsey. Yeah, I did say that one. I'll tell you one that affected me. It probably wasn't a huge heel turn in retrospect, but Rick Martel turning into the Model and turning on Tito Santana when they were Strike Force. That one affected me. So those are 10 valuable ones, I think. Batista turning on Rey Mysterio wasn't a bad one either. Okay, so the whole birthright is out here with Connors. Minus Dempsey. I don't see Dempsey out there. Okay, so birthright is indeed the name. Thank goodness. Thank you, Nico. Appreciate it. Kevin's turn on Sammy was pretty good too. Agree, RT Rick. Tito Santana was an all-timer. Good. I'm glad he was an early inductee into the Hall of Fame, if I'm remembering correctly. Okay, so Charlie Dempsey is watching from backstage. Ooh, a chop to the back by Kale Dixon. Early Intercontinental Champion too, Tito Santana. Randy Savage turning on Hulk Hogan was a good heel turn too. It didn't really shock me so much because Randy had been a heel before and he was always a little unhinged, but it was a good angle. The Mega Powers. Oh yeah, KO and Sammy in NXT was very good. And for a brief time, I think it was 2016 or 2017, they had a really good one too. Yeah, that bloodline heel turn, Swaby, that's true. Roman's turn was really good. I think I'm a little unfair to it, if I'm being honest, because it happened during the pandemic. And so the crowd reaction sort of being a part of it was so important. But yeah. Well, Jay turning on Roman wasn't a heel turn, though, was it? I mean, that was more of a face turn, which was a great turn, by the way. In terms of face turns, the Usos turning on Roman was great. Better than Sammy for me. The sustainable WWE title was a beautiful looking title, by the way. I love the look of that. I wasn't as moved by Bryan's heel turn, though. I mean, it was basically just a shot to the nuts, and he was trying to win the title. So, I mean, I think it was a little too sympathetic to really be moved by his heel turn. And it gave us Kofi Mania, which I was grateful for. He was really thigh slapping in this match. Oh, eats a boot from that moonsault. Connors with a flying knee. Is that going to be enough to put out? Yeah. Kale Dixon is done. And Uriah Connors wins clean. So Connors with a win for Birthright. Right. When you say Big Show, I say which one? That was a good spear by Zarya too. Nico, I was thinking about the New Day's heel turn, but unfortunately, they just really didn't capitalize on it. The actual moment was fantastic, though. The moment of Woods and Kofi, yeah, it was great. Who did the spear better, Braun or Benta? Braun. Braun does the spear better, for sure. Absolutely hurtful. Oop. Zarya confronting Fatal Influence. Okay, Zarya is challenging for the challenge Jacy Jayne for the NXT title for next week. Very interesting. Right before our Vengeance Day. And I was hoping for this sort of turnout, this sort of development to go the other way. But I think would be really fun is if she gets that match and then Soul actually helps Zarya win. And then after it's over, be like, guess what? You're going to face me in 4 days. So enjoy that title while you can, because I'm going to take it from you. Would be pretty dope. Don't know if he's really a heel turn, but Triple H refereed. When turned on Bryan, yeah, Dawsey. I mean, I don't know if I would call that a heel turn either, but it was absolutely a great heel move. 100%. Yeah, that was a great move. Let's see. Yeah. We might still end up with Soul versus Zarya at Stand and Deliver. Because Vengeance Day is next Saturday, but we're still going to get we'll still get an episode of NXT next Tuesday, I guess. So I don't know. I don't know how that'll work. Matt turning on Jeff was shocking too. But it didn't quite, I don't know. It didn't move me as much, I guess. Let's see, who else? What other heel turns? Let's see. We covered a lot of the really good big ones. I'll tell you one that was kind of weird. It's almost like a double heel turn. Is a Survivor Series. I want to say 1989. No, 88. Survivor Series 88. In the massive like 20-person tag team Survivor Series match. That Mr. Fuji turned heel on Demolition, who were heels, which turned Demolition face. And he like dropped them and joined the Powers of Pain instead, the Warlord and the Barbarian. A little weird, but pretty interesting. Trying to think of any other heel turns at the time. Yeah. I mean, you had somebody joining the NWO like every week in the 90s during the Nitro years. So there were a lot of heel turns that happened there. But I think Scott Steiner, other than Hogan himself starting it, Scott Steiner's was probably the most meaningful for sure. Sometime later, we should talk about worst heel turns. Do you think people remember more face turns than heel turns? Actually, last name, I think people remember heel turns more. Because one, they don't really do as many story-driven face turns these days. But the really effective ones, people remember. More gassing each other up. Backstage, Vanity Project, and Ricky Saints. Yes, Dossie Chatham. I think that was Fall Brawl. I think it was Fall Brawl or Clash of the Champions. I want to say it was a 95. That was a great deal turn. Yeah. Oh, Hank and Tank are here. Paul Heyman turning on Brock Lesnar. Yeah, I remember that one too. All right, so Vanity Project is already planning on interfering on behalf of Ethan Page. Hank and Tank and Shiloh Hill. Actually, this is not a bad forming here. They just stripped the Vanity Project's car for parts. Okay. 6-man tag team match, player. What matches am I looking forward to seeing at Elimination Chamber? I think the men, the men's chamber for sure. I think that's the one I'm most interested in because I don't have a clue what they're going to do. So we got Myles Borne versus Ethan Page for the North American title, and that's our main event coming up here soon. Video package on Myles Borne. Hmm. Do I think Seth Rollins turns heel again? Date CM Punk returns to WWE or WrestleMania 41. I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue what they're going to do with Seth Rollins now, because I would have assumed originally he'd come back as a face against Braun Breaker. But now when Seth comes back, is Braun going to be there or no? So I don't know. I know the fans will sing along with the song when he comes back, but I don't know. I don't have a clue. I guess it really depends on who you want to pair him up with, right? I think he's set to be a face when he comes back, but we'll see what happens. Okay, we've got that TLC sound and music again playing in the background. Comes Myles Borne. And here comes the champion, Ethan Page. We saw him getting his ankle taped earlier. The most successful defenses of the North American title, Ethan Page. Oh, there's Blake Monroe's mirror. Man, they're getting the full-on Raw style entrance. Who do I think on the roster are natural baby faces and natural heels? That's great. You know what? Let's actually start with division. Because I think Logan Paul is, of course, a natural heel. But you know what? Austin Theory is a natural baby face. I've seen him do interviews, and that guy's very likable as a human being. I don't understand why they have him as a heel. Grayson Waller, natural heel. Who else are naturals? I mean, Rey Mysterio, natural babyface. Jamon Evans, natural babyface. Trick Williams, natural heel. Yeah, those are a few others. Give me, let's see. Give me just a second here, guys. I'm going to have to step away for just a second while we're in commercial, but I'll be right back, and we'll finish up this show strong. All right, everybody. Appreciate that. Let's see. Yeah, so I'd be very curious um, to see how this main event plays out. Obviously, Hank Tank and Shiloh Hill and the Vanity Project being at odds with one another backstage could spill out into the arena. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Gunther's an interesting case study in natural babyface or natural heel. I think it depends on the era. Because Gunther, I think, is constant, right? But in like the 70s or 80s, I think he could be perceived as a babyface. But now he's really much more of a heel. And he doesn't really have to change himself all that much. Like this whole idea of the mat is sacred and I'm an elite wrestler and all these sorts of things. Honestly, back in the day, that could get you over as a face because he's just a staunch competitor, right? But now that's more easily perceived as arrogance. So it's more natural for him to be heel. He can really do either way. Just depends, I guess, on, how it's received by the crowd, which is always the case, right? Yeah, dedication meant more than anything back then. Like even Ric Flair being a heel sometimes would get over as with crowds just because he was always talking about being the best and doing what he could to be the best. All right, well, we're back for the main event. Robert Stone. Let's see if we get some announcements about next week. Okay, Hank Tank and Shiloh versus the Vanity Project and Zarya versus Jacy. I'm waiting for that. An absolute experience with Ricky Saints next Tuesday. Oh gosh, I feel like that's going to be weird. Yes, indeed. If you're new to the channel, follow the instructions of RT Rig. Say hello, join the conversation, join the fun as we join the main event now. Myles Borne making his entrance to challenge for the North American title against All Ego Ethan Page. Never break. It's a good motto. Yeah, I think it could be really fun to move the title to Zarya. Be very interesting to see if they go that direction or if Sol Ruca just pays back Zarya for what happened tonight. We'll see what happens. Yeah, RT, for sure. He's got a certain quality about him, for sure. He can throw a good drop kick. Oh, he's from Wilmington. I did not know that. All right, Myles. I think Jade carries a certain confidence about her that makes her more natural as a heel, for sure. because she's so dominant. Sometimes dominance can be shown as unbeatable in a heelish sort of way. Ethan Page just jawing at Myles, and Myles is like, wow. Orlando is chanting silver medal at Ethan Page. That's pretty funny. So a lot of USA going on here. Oh, Ego, 100% natural heel. Yes, 100% natural heel. I think Lash is better as a heel too. Yeah, I would have bumped up Drew too. Drew was a lot of fun to use in 2K25 as well. I like his overall layout. Oh, Ethan Page already kind of selling the ankle a little bit. Is he playing possum though? I haven't seen Cena's 2K26 model yet. Shamanica, does it not look very good, or what's the story with it? Myles Borne going to work on that ankle. See, that's what you want to do if you're Myles in this situation too. Just grab that leg and slap on an ankle lock and make Page go to work, you know? Oh, the old school knee drop. I used to see Flair do that all the time, setting up for the figure four. It's his Boston gear that he wore at one of the last appearances. Oh, okay. That's not bad. It's not bad. Okay. And Ethan Page just steady working the leg. Let's go, Myles. Chance. Big back suplex. Yeah, I don't know what's next for Hank and Tank. I mean, they got the 6-man tag. I think there's some chemistry there with Shiloh Hill. I didn't really see it before until this segment tonight with the Vanity Project, but maybe there's something there for now. Maybe Shiloh will get some more reps in, there as well. Yeah, Rhea is definitely like a natural kind of aggressive baby face, like a Batista in a way. Yeah, I think so. A little too charismatic to be a natural heel, I would think. All right. So we're just a few minutes away from wrapping up tonight. Just a reminder, too, again, we'll be doing Elimination Chamber predictions in, I think, around 7:15 or so, about 15 minutes after the show's over with A and B combos. Going through the Elimination Chamber card, not a huge card to go through, but you'll have your chance to fill out our predictions form as well for the Community Predictions Championship if you haven't done that already tonight. And we'll go through our predictions as well and look forward to Saturday. So, I actually have a lighthearted question of the week to ask you guys too in our last commercial break here. Inspired by when I was getting ready for the show tonight, I had a knock at the door, and neighborhood Girl Scout was at the door selling cookies. And it had me thinking, how do you guys feel about Girl Scout cookies? Are you a fan? What's your favorite kind of Girl Scout cookie? Or what's your favorite kind of cookie in general if Girl Scout cookies are not the thing for you? Curious what your answer is. Let's see what you guys think. RT, I do not believe Alex is on the Alex will be on this one. Typically we pair up with Alex for the really big shows, Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, that kind of stuff. So I don't anticipate him being on tonight for this one. Oatmeal cookies. Okay, good choice. Good choice. Now, oatmeal raisin, RT Rick, or no raisin? We have to clarify here. Both. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. I I like whatever they call tagalongs or like chocolate and peanut butter uh cookie. That's probably my favorite kind. All right. We are getting ready to come back from the break. Last name, that's a good question. I think if Rhea wins the chamber, I think they find a way to get the tag titles off of Rhea and Io before Mania. I don't think she does double duty, especially if one of them is a multi-woman tag match. Yeah, RT Rick, I'm the same way. I'm never looking for those cookies. I'm generally just trying to support somebody in the neighborhood usually when it happens. Yeah, Charlotte. Well, Charlotte's not in the chamber. Alexa is. Thought that was interesting that Charlotte got left out. 260 days for Ethan Page. Crazy. Yeah, George, it will be an interesting match for sure. Dusty says chocolate chip, especially, let's see, white chocolate, macadamia nut, Girl Scout tagalongs to 10 minutes. Great answers, Dossie, all around. Great answers all around. Yeah, I'm honestly, I was hoping even if they're both faces, even if there's no face heel dynamic, I really want to have a one-on-one Rhea versus Io WrestleMania match. Um, I think they both have earned that, but we'll see. Chops in the corner from All Ego. We're working our way towards the end of the night here, and no interference we've seen tonight so far. The match has been okay. It hasn't really grabbed me tonight. Some of the other matches have done more for me, if I'm being honest. Ethan Page got Myles Borne up on the top rope. Superplex incoming. I mean, he's sitting up on this top turnbuckle for a long time. And big superplex. This match feels like it's going in slow motion. But Myles kicks out. Wesley was a good one. Myles' finisher. That's a good question, Shamanica. For some reason, I don't remember. I wanted to say it was kind of like a zigzag, but I don't think that's true. Tavion Heights, he was backstage in a segment tonight with Charlie Dempsey. They were watching the Birthright match with Connors and Uriah Connors and Kale Dixon, but no dialogue from Tavion Heights tonight. Okay, drop kick from the mat up. Oh, one knee code breaker. There it is. Oh, okay, I was right. That is his finish, the Born Again. And all right, here comes the Vanity Project. Jackson Drake with the belt shot. Running interference. But no, Borne still kicks out. And now here comes Shiloh and Hank and Tank to even the odds. Foreshadowing from earlier tonight. Well, that foreshadowed to this. So it's back to one-on-one again. Wait, who's here? Ricky Saints. And Joe Hendry is here. Joe Hendry has neutralized Ricky Saints. And now Ego's Edge. Nope. Uh-oh. Turnbuckle has been removed. And Ego hit the turnbuckle, the exposed turnbuckle. Borne's going to win this match. We got a new North American champion. There it is. 3 new champs tonight out of 4 matches. 3 champs and a heel turn. That's an exciting development tonight. He's going to change that strap now. Canada can't win hockey, can't win North American titles, man. What are you going to do? Ethan Page ate the exposed turnbuckle and then ate the Borne again. And that was all she wrote. Myles Borne has gold now. Oh, his family's here. Love that. What a reign for Ethan Page. Sorry. But what a reign for Ethan Page. And I think, great things to come for Ethan Page. He really hit his bag with this this reign. And now that it's over, I'm sure there's going to be some exciting things on the books for him in 2026. Well, what an episode of NXT now behind us. So be sure to stick around and hop on our predictions video for the Elimination Chamber predictions. We'll be starting that probably in about 15 minutes or so. Just give your boy some time to recuperate for a minute, and we'll go through those predictions and be looking forward to all the excitement and continuing the road to WrestleMania. So I'll see you guys very soon, and see you in a few more minutes. And you know what? Great job, NXT. Another exciting episode coming up next week, right before Vengeance Day. So things are kicking into high gear. You guys just take care of yourselves, and don't forget to be a mark. Being a mark means you believe. Believing makes wrestling better. And I'll see you guys in a few minutes over on the Elimination Chamber.